This week is a topic that I've wanted to tackle for a long time, and I cannot tell you how many people in the past have come up to me and said, oh, I always wanted to get a bike, but I never did. Now, most of those people were around 40 years old, all right? That's the people that normally come up to me. And I just want to chat about that, okay? Because 40 years old is nothing. And I'd even say that I've had much older people come up to me as well, sort of 70s sometimes, 70s, come up and say exactly the same thing. My eyes, it's never too late. So why would you get involved in riding a motorcycle later on in life? Exactly the same reasons why you do when you're younger. However, it's difficult because obviously when you're younger, you get married, you have kids, normal life stuff like that, generally speaking. It's what happens, and so you can't afford it. Now, I probably fall into that category as well. It wasn't until I was 28 where I went to Cyprus with my now wife back in 2003, 2004, that we hired a scooter, and I found out what I was missing riding a bike. And although I rode bikes when I was younger, just friends' bikes up and down the drive and occasionally round the field, I always had it in me that it was going to happen. It was going to happen. And my old man loved bikes, as did my mum as well. So what I'd advise really is, if you do want to do it, then just do it. That's as simple as that. It's the best thing that you can ever do. It certainly changed my life for the better, and many other people's as well. Because what you don't realise before you get riding a bike is all the wonderful people that you'll meet along the way. Now, obviously, I've got the bikes and I've got YouTube, so I've got a double whammy of that. But it took me, I had a break in between bikes, but for about, I think it was about 5 years, something like that. But my God, I didn't half miss it. Being able to go through the traffic through Exeter, which is quite a busy city, having a bike is everything. It makes such a difference. And this particular bike here is £2,200. It's not a lot of money to get yourself set up. On top of that, you'll need to do your CBT, which is about £200, I think now, as of 2006. Again, once you've done the CBT, you have to renew it every 2 years. It's not a big deal really, because what you'll find is when you take your CBT test, it's actually, which is more of a tick box exercise than actually something you can fail. You can fail it, but it's really difficult to fail. But what you'll find is that for the first sort of 2 years, that's when you learn how to ride. And then the following years, you'll learn how to ride properly, because you'll think you've mastered it. But in fact, quite often, there's lots more things to learn. So the actual setup of getting on a bike like this, the bike's £2,200. Let's say you spend £400, £500 on the actual clothing. You've got that for life, or as long as the clothing lasts. The biggie is insurance. That is the difficult one. Now, if you're older, it's going to be a lot less than what it is when you're a young person, 17 years old, getting on a bike, okay? So you might have the advantage that you've been driving for years, which will help a lot on the insurance side of things. But essentially, that is probably going to be your biggest outlay in many cases. But when it's done, and the following year it will just drop dramatically, sometimes up to 50%, and then it just gets cheaper every year. So for me, for a 125 now, I've been riding for 20 odd years, 21, 22 years. For me to insure this bike would probably be in my area, which is Devon. Obviously, if you live in London, then it costs a lot more. But in Devon, this would probably cost me about £120 to insure. So yeah, well worth it. You're going to get all the idiots come along as well. Like, oh, what are you doing at this time of life? None of their business. Tell them to op it, because they're the ones that are missing out. All right, they're not not you. All right, you're only missing out if you don't take this hobby up, which you've always wanted to do. Now, we all think about the dangerous side of motorcycling as well. That is another big thing which people worry about. It's relative, but the reality is, right, when you sat at home thinking about being in between two lorries and riding along, and the thought of it is actually worse than what it is in real life. Because in real life, those lorries are going to hold back, generally speaking, and you'll just be out in the open air and it'll be lovely. All right, so it's quite easy to put thoughts in your mind that won't ever happen. All right, so don't do that, because that is the worst thing you can do. And it's one of the things which I think puts a lot of people off. Let me turn that ignition off before I drain the battery. Yeah, so don't give yourself bad thoughts, because 99.9% of biking is absolutely wonderful in every way. All right, and also you'll find yourself going to different places as well. Because if you own a car, you'll go to, you won't go down the lanes, you won't go down those narrow tracks. And that is where all the beauty is. And you can do that on one of these bikes. And you'll see the world a lot more. If you do take up the motorcycle genre of off-roading, then you'll see things which you never knew existed. It's like another world out there, okay? So if you're thinking of doing it, all I can say is, honestly, just do it. Just take the first step. Even if you just go out and buy the bike and it sits in the garage for a while, and you just sit on it and you get used to the gears and the weight of it and things like that, everything else will come in time. But there is an element which you do have to just do it, and you also have to push through your own personal barriers of what's holding you back. So that could be fear of going on the road, or fear of spending the money, or worried about what happens if. Don't think about what happens if. One of my worst thoughts is if I had never have done this, and I was on my last day, and I'm sat there in the bed thinking, oh, I never done that, did I? What a waste of time. Just do it. It's one of the best things you can do. You'll learn about safety along the way. There are other courses you can take as well. You can join up with IAM, and they'll teach you how to ride, for example, and they'll teach you how to ride well, and also tackle any, and you can even get extra training, at your local trainer school. They will help you out as well. If you're, just let them know what your shortcomings are, then they'll build a course around you to help you deal with that. And so the next thing is, what bike do you buy? And that, when it comes to a 125, is purely down to personal taste. All right, so this, for me, this R66, although I don't really like cruisers as such, but this for me works better than what a sports bike would, because sports bike is very over the tank, and they look nice, but they're not built for cruising around in comfort, normally. So for me, this would work. It's £2,200, and I'd be quite happy with this. Other bikes which you can get, like motocross style bikes or off-road bikes, they can open up new doors as well if you're confident to go through the lanes and things. But in the early days, you'll just want to stick to the easy roads, really. You want to stick to tarmac, don't you? Price wise on fuel and things like that, you'll save a huge amount. If you've only driven cars before, then when you think the average car is 40, 50 to the gallon, and then you go up to about 120, 130 on a 125cc bike. So you'll be very surprised how much your fuel bill will be cut. In fact, in some cases, the bike will probably pay for itself within a year, with the amount of fuel that you'll be saving. And another thing which I come up against a lot is people will say to me, it's only a 125, that's a bit boring, isn't it? Don't you prefer the 1000cc pluses, bikes? I don't, no, I don't, and I can speak for a lot of people. In fact, I've got 3 bikes. I've got an NC750, I've got a BMW R850R, and a Royal Enfield Meteor 350. My 350 I enjoy riding more than the other bikes because it's just got more character, it's more fun, and it's better to ride a fast bike, no, a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. And you'll pick that. You'll soon learn that. You know, I've been many times where I've had faster bikes and I've just had to hold them back all the time because you can't. These days, the cameras are popping up everywhere, speed cameras, and you just can't take that risk anymore. You know, I've already got 3 points on my license. I don't want any more, thanks. And it's easily done, you know, on those sort of bikes. So again, with a 125. It's just nice because you can sit on it, you'll be out in the open air, and you will be, it's just a pleasure to ride. It's really, really nice. It's a nice thing, riding a bike, being out in the open air. You can go to quiet roads, you don't have to go to fast roads. A 125 will be absolutely fine on nearly all A and B roads anyway. So just ride it, enjoy it, and but go for it. I think that's the bottom line of what I'm trying to say here, is that so many people don't end up riding and just missing out, you know, just missing out. It's always that, if that thing is knocking in your head all the time, you know, obviously we've all got to deal with the wives as well, you know. Obviously if you're starting later on in life, why are you doing it now? What's the point? You know, what happens if, and what happens, and all that sort of stuff. We've all got to deal with that sort of thing. You just have to push for it and just make them realise that it's something that's going to make you really happy. And that's what life is all about, isn't it? You know, we all need our toys. I don't know what I'd do without bikes. I really wouldn't. I can't quite imagine it now. It'd be something missing in my life if it wasn't for motorbikes and YouTube. So yeah, if you're one of those people that say, you know, that thinks, oh, I've always wanted to try it, but I don't know when, don't waste any time. You don't know, no one knows how much time they've got. So you jump on it, take the first step, you know, pop round the showroom, sit on some bikes, get some advice, see what you think. And yeah, I mean, within reason, you could probably be on the road within a month or two. You know, so I'm going to leave it there. There is much more I could talk about on that side of things, but I'll leave it there. But if you're one of them, take the first step, okay? But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you Sunday, 5 p.m. next week. Cheerio. It's a wrap.